Hey everyone, it's Kimmy. I am Mama on a Mission, and today I have literally one of the best garage sale hauls I've possibly ever had. And you guys know I would not say that unless I meant it. A lot of my thrift hauls here are, bread and butter. I show you guys a lot of the same things over and over again. Well, that kind of makes me sound like I'm doing the same thing all the time, which is not the case. But this is a very fun, unique garage sale haul, and I was literally sweating. So, if you're new here, I'm a 14-year online reseller. I actually think I'm 15-year now. I don't know how to figure out what my exact start date was for eBay. But either which way, I sell primarily clothes, but also a mix of accessories, belts, purses, shoes, and I am just obsessed with this thrift haul. If you guys ever listen to one of my thrift hauls, I guess it's a garage sale haul, this is the one to watch all the way to the end. I am literally sitting here with all these different bags, which the seller was very sweet. And I guess the story a little bit is a little bit sad, but her and her daughter were selling some of her mom's items and she had passed, which always kind of gives you a little bit of odd vibes. So that part was not my favorite. And I really connected to this woman at the garage sale. She was the sweetest thing. Her daughter was super sweet. She was organized. That part, was a plus minus there. But she was basically selling her mom's entire closet. And let me tell you, when I say, and I literally, like I said, I warmed up to this lady at the garage sale, and then by the end I was like, you know what, your mom was she was a queen if there ever was one. And we kind of bonded, and she was talking about her mom, and she was very stylish, and I really do hope that she's doing okay. And I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed bonding with her, and honestly, this queen had the best taste possible. Now, here's the thing. So I found a community-wide garage sale. It said 100 homes in this general vicinity, which you guys know that I live in rural Wisconsin. So usually I have to drive to find these places, and sometimes I have limited time. And this was one of those cases that I was so bummed. I was watching the clock, how much time do I have? How much time do I have? So this was the third place that I hit out of a potential of 100, and I never was able to go back to all these garage sales, and that almost killed me. I can't even lie. I was trying to figure out every way possible how I could go back to the other garage sales, but I had to go to my other side hustle. So the garage sale started at 8, and I had to be to my side hustle by 10. Ugh. And so I hit 2 others, and this was my third stop. And it was a great one. I could not be more thankful. This is literally one of my best garage sale hauls ever. I probably should have bought more. I'm just going to be honest with you. I was having a hard time deciding what to pick up. So this was a lady who, when she found something she liked, she bought it in every color, which I get, because I am someone too who, when I find something that I really like, I try to buy multiples of it, multiples of the same item, or something in a couple different colors. So I really understand that part. But without losing you guys too soon, honestly, this is an awesome garage sale. I really enjoyed connecting with the people who are running it, and I am extremely thankful for all of these items. So I spent $140 total, and it's worth it, no doubt. But this is one of those garage sales where some of the items were $3, $5, $8. I love finding me a garage sale that are, where the prices are 50 cents to $1, $1.50. I follow a lot of people who do flipping. Don't be tripping. It's just flipping. She does a lot of garage sales, and her items are always like 50 cents. I'm like, where do you find these places? But this place, even though that the items were $358, they were worth it, and it was fine. Like I said, I wish I would have bought more. So without boring you too much, let's at least get you guys to like seeing something cool, because I loved this. This was like super fun. Actually, I'm going to pull from this bag that's in front because I lost all the way, like, space of trying to fit all of these little grocery bags. Now, this had a couple bigger items, and there's a lot of vintage in here. You guys know I love vintage, Y2K. Vintage technically only has to be 2005, so Hot Mess Express check. We're all right. So I picked up a couple. This is Y2K denim jean jacket with the fall fur trim. Look at this beauty. Oh my gosh. So most of the jackets were $5 or $6. The most expensive thing I bought was $8, and it was a pair of shoes. I'll show you here in a bit. So a lot of these jackets and stuff were $6. Look at this. So look at this tag. I love looking at these Y2K tags. It says laser jeans. Like I always say to you guys, you know, these Y2K brands or vintage brands, a lot of times the brand itself really, it does matter sometimes, but a lot of times it doesn't. I don't know what laser jeans is, but it's the denim. It's Y2K vintage. It's the denim jean jacket with kind of the distressed, a little bit of like a washed out look, but more importantly, it's this trim. Look at this. It's so cute. I am going to list this for $39, maybe $49, depending on comps. Look at the fall fur trim. This is awesome. Oh my gosh, I just love it. And so here's another one. And this one is funny because of the brand. It is vintage Y2K Liz Claiborne. That's not a brand that you want to be picking up. However, in Y2K items, especially here, this is another Y2K denim jean jacket with the fall fur trim. And it even had the sleeves that you could roll. I don't know. There has to be some celebrity who used to wear this. Something very similar. Britney Spears, Jessica Simpson. I don't know. Somebody from my era definitely wore this. The exposed buttons, the pockets. It's a size large. That fall fur trim. This is another excellent. Oh my gosh. Do you guys love this? If you don't really love Y2K or vintage items, then you probably don't love this. You might have already like signed off. But these are fantastic pickups. Jean jackets that are Y2K or vintage, especially with a contrasting trim, whether it's corduroy, the fall fur, anything like that, it definitely could be a pickup. Like I said, $6. I'm listing each of these for at least $39. The thing is, right now, we're a little bit out of season for these items. We need another 1 or 2 months, so I may go a little bit higher because I always offer discounts, coupons, and my Nifty app sends out offers. So because I know that these are a little bit out of season right now, and I need a month or two before more people would be looking for it, I'm probably going to price a little bit higher just to give it that time. So I'm assuming I'm going to put both of those jean jackets at $49, and I paid $6 a piece. And they are fantastic. I could not be more excited about those items. And that was just an example of how the person, you know, that she had a lot of style items that she bought. She had so many jean jackets, leather jackets, Honestly, she had like other like fall fur jackets. She was really just the epitome of style and grace, honestly. This was, you know, this I could have bought a lot of Ralph Lauren. This is vintage Y2K again, made in the Philippines. She had a ton of these, and I don't know, they were only $2. I thought these were very in season, so this is like the opposite of those jean jackets. In season with this orange floral. It's vintage Y2K. It's Ralph Lauren. For only $2, these are like a really nice pair of like tropical Hawaiian capris. And for only $2, like, she had a ton of different things. And like I said, I was trying to pick out one or two from each of the categories. And I was trying to count my dollars in my purse. I'm like, oh my gosh, I could just buy this whole place out. But again, I only had so much time too. Ooh, I think I've already actually mentioned this to my other side hustle. Fridays are going to be off. This is a Friday, and I work Fridays on my other. I don't know how I would make it work, but I'm like, I don't want to work Fridays anymore because I want to just go garage sailing. So I'm not sure how I'm going to make that work. But here's another fun item. Oh my gosh. Oh, I better stop saying that. I keep saying it. Made in the USA. This brand, I don't know. It's Elan. Elan wear, made in the USA, 100% cotton, new with tags. So this is Deadstock, new with tags, vintage. This item could be more than 20 years old, could be 30 years old. Look at these pants. This is boho, hippie, legging look. It's wide leg. Look at this. You guys, how cute is this? This is just bohemian, earthy. This is going to sell, I don't even know. I'm going to list this at $39. Look for the made in USA. Look for the paper tag that I talked to you guys about. This kind of tie-dye, washed out look. The wide leg with the little sunflower. Oh my gosh. I'm always saying to you guys to stack the reasons to pick things up. And that had all of them. It was Deadstock, new with tags. It's vintage. I think it's later than Y2K. I think that item is probably at least 90s. It has a lot of style factors in there. It's wide leg. You can't go wrong with that. Now this is another item that she had a lot of, and I almost wish I would have bought more. And this is a style-based piece. This is just the brand Union Bay, but it's the vintage kind of cargo style capri. The cargo pocket there with the drawstring, and it was also new with tags, Deadstock. So, you know, made in Vietnam a lot of times is in the Y2K era, and there's a certain style base that is looking for this exact pair of shorts. Now, she did price these up. These were $6, but I plan on putting these up for $39. And she had a ton. Like, I was going through the colors. I picked out like this olivey green. I don't know. I'm going to lose some sleep from not picking up more of the items. Like I said, some of these items, like, she had lots of them. She had 7-8 pairs of these cargo capri or knee length vintage Y2K shorts with the tag on them. Throwing that pair of shorts down because I'm like, I should have probably bought more, but oh well. I'm still super happy with this haul, so I don't want to make it seem negative. I don't like being negative on my channel. It was fantastic. Could not be happier. Here's another corduroy jacket. So again, these were $6. And again, remember, she like bought a lot of items of the same brand. Laser jeans. whatever that even means. It's Y2K vintage. Look at this. Oh my God. This gorgeous light blue with the, like, it's actually like a Sherpa lining. This is a $39 list all day for me. Again, she must have preferred this FOF, you know, the roll cuff here. So cute. If you can find any type of jacket that you know is Y2K or vintage, denim, corduroy, you know, flip collar, fall collar, you probably want to pick it up. Now, here's another item that she had in all the colors. And there were dozens, maybe even 100 or 2 items that were lamb's wool or mohair, some type of really earthy, you know, very substantial material. I could have bought 6 of these sweaters. So the brand is Paul Dufier. And there is a following for this. I've never heard of it, and it is a vintage Paul Dufier. This is 61% mohair, which mohair is like hard to find. Acrylic and then other fibers, size large, made in Hong Kong. And she had this in every color. Like, I could have picked up 6, but I picked up one in this like very earthy, darker forest green color. And I found a comp on this, and it was only like a month ago, so it was like early spring. Usually people aren't buying this type of item in early spring. And it sold for $39 plus shipping. And I paid $6. So I'm going to list this at $49. If you find vintage sweaters with a good material content, mohair, especially lamb's wool, Angora rabbit, any of those things, it could very well be a pickup. Now this was a set, and I don't know, I think I believe it was $6 that she charged this set. 50% lamb's wool, 40% Angora rabbit hair, and 10% nylon. And when I tell you, there were racks and racks of lamb's wool or Angora rabbit or mohair, racks. Like, I should have brought $1,000 with me to buy every single one. But how was I going to know that? I don't, you know, I guess I got to up my game. So this is a really pretty, like, chocolatey brown long vest with, for $6, a pair of pants that goes with it. It's a set, and it's so soft. I cannot even tell you how soft this is. There's a label. See how it looks kind of vintagey? Made in Hong Kong. Richard and Co. Lamb's wool, Angora rabbit. So this is very elegant. This is going to be a lot of things. Business casual, capsule, wardrobe, quiet luxury, this lovely vest. You know, you'd put like a little camisole underneath it, and then you'd pair it with this pair of pants. And they're like straight. They're not wide leg, but they're like a straight leg. The softest material that I wish, I usually say, I wish you had like, you could feel that. Not smell-o-vision, but I wish you could feel that, because if you could, it's so soft. Love that I was able to find or have both of the pieces for $6. Easily, I'm going to list that at $49. It's vintage. It's a great material content. It's a set together. Guys, I'm telling you, each one of these items, like, you're taking, even though I had to pay up for a couple of them, in my opinion, paying up is Because garage sales, you're hoping to have 50 cents, a dollar. And I see that all the time on YouTube places. But being that I only paid $6, I'm going to list that at least $49. I'm thinking possibly $59 or higher, being that it has the set there. Now, this is the most expensive item that I found or that I decided to purchase. When I tell you guys, there were literally boxes of shoes underneath every single table. That's exactly what was happening. Like, I could have bought 10 different pair of these shoes. The sandals, there was probably 100 sandals. Like, it was insane. Insane. This is a pair of Taos, Taos. This is a vintage deerskin moccasin. I probably should have bought about 10 more pair. Look at these things. Vintage deerskin lightweight moccasin. These are fantastic. The quality is unmatched. I don't even know if these were ever worn. It says on the thing, it says Indian made. World famous Pueblo ancestral home of the Taos Indians. I really don't even know what that means, but they're deerskin leather vintage moccasins. These are $50, $60. And if I didn't mention, this is the most expensive thing, and I paid $10. They still have the box. So I could have gotten more. You know, sometimes that's the hard part, especially when you're in a time crunch of what to pick up and what not. Like, I can't always look up every single item. Sometimes I have to trust my gut or my knowledge. And I do think I'm very confident in all of these items. But, you know, could I or should I have picked up more? Maybe. Honestly, probably. But I picked out 1 or 2 items from each of the areas, and I feel really good about it. So it is what it is. I did great. No regrets. We still have a ton to go through here, so I better speed it up a little bit. Ooh, this is a fun thing. So the jackets were like $5. This is vintage Ralph Lauren. Ooh, and it is a polo sport. Now, this is a size large, which is fantastic. This is made in the USA. That's the ticket. Now, this is a full zip up, but here's one of the reasons why I picked this up. If you can get like a good hit, as many of the resellers will say, some kind of logo, some type of embroidery, some kind of detail on this, this is really what took it to the next level for me. On the sleeve there is this awesome logo hit with a little bit of the flag there. Full zip, vintage, Ralph Lauren sport. Again, I'm going to say I'm going to list that for at least $39. I might go $49 on that. This now actually is the softest material on the planet. Whatever this is. Oh my Lanta. It says Semplice, the brand. Made in Hong Kong. 70% Angora rabbit hair. Oh my gosh, is this is like the softest thing. This is another like vest, elegant, neutral, minimalist. Wow. Oh my gosh, this is so soft. I can't even believe how soft it is. Semplice, made in Hong Kong. It's definitely vintage Y2K, neutral. And she had just tons of this. Let's see what else. Now, this was kind of more of a style-based piece, but it's still vintage as well. Authentic. They spelled authentic wrong. Forenzia Lamb's wool and nylon, made in Italy. Forenzia. Look at your tags. Lamb's wool. And I thought this just gave me like, I don't know. I grew up in the 90s in the Y2K era, and this style long sleeve just, I don't know. I don't know if it was like in a movie or something. Like just this little pattern. It is lamb's wool. This again is going to be I'm just going to say most of these pieces are going to be a $39 list. The sweaters and stuff were $3. The vest was, you know, a lot of these items were $5. The most expensive was that pair of deer moccasin shoes, and that's where I paid $10. And she had a ton of them, and I feel like they were worth it. And I'm not even, I could have bought a million things, and I think her prices were very reasonable. Now this is a brand that I have sold before in the vintage realm. It's Jonathan Martin, but this is 100% silk. Again, I paid $5 for this. See how it's like quilted and cropped? This is, again, another great like 90s Y2K piece. Full zip, quilted jacket, 100% silk. Has these zip pockets. Super cute. That's another $39 list. Oh, she had multiples of these. I feel like I should have gotten more. This color code, women's, $78. This is vintage DKNY. New with tag, Deadstock, with the spell out label on the front. She had this in every color. Gray, black, whatever. See, DKNY jeans. This is another great pickup. 100% cotton, made in Hong Kong. Again, a lot of Hong Kong and Vietnam are tags, are vintage, and then I could just tell. But look at this, DKNY jeans. She had so many of these. Great spell out. That's another $39. That's probably a $49 list. Now this, you guys, is honestly one of my favorite finds. Here it is. Look at this thing. Oh my gosh. And I don't know this brand. It had nothing to do with the brand why I picked it up, although I knew there was some value there because it said made in Japan. Vintage, Betmar, New York. Made in Japan. There are a couple loose threads here, which of course I can just kind of like trim up. Let me see if I can get the buttons. Wait until you see this design. I'm surprised it doesn't say handmade. I feel like it was did it say handmade? Made in Japan. Washed gently. Look at this. Oh my God. This is grandma core, hippie, boho, festival, all those things, the grandma patchwork. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh. How cute. Nothing on the back, but super cute front, made in Japan, vintage, and all the different styles. Probably my favorite piece. Paid about $3 for that. That was more of a basic vest piece. The bigger like vest jackets were $5. Here's another vintage Y2K 111 state. This is Rami and cotton blend. This is boho. Look at this skirt. Can we look at that? There it is. You see that? Oh my gosh. And it's about like a midi length. It's not full maxi, but look at this. Crochet knit, boho, hippie, festival, bohemian. This is all the things. It's Y2K vintage. This is a $39 piece all day. Look at the detail in this beauty. You know, that is one thing that I do love, is finding some of these vintage Y2K pieces. And, you know, in a lot of these rummage sale environments, if who knows where the items go if they don't sell? Could it just go to the side of the road for garbage the next day? Possibly. Honestly, let's be real. Like, could it go to a Goodwill or, a different thrift store? It might. But there are probably people that after a garage sale, they just put it by the road. And it could end up in a landfill. It does end up in a landfill. So to be able to save some of these things from potentially getting to a landfill environment makes me so happy, because there are some beautiful pieces. Now, I paid $2 for this. Ralph Lauren with the green tag. These are corduroy pants. Now, these were made in Korea, which is definitely vintage. And a lot of times corduroy, you're talking about fall. These are probably not going to move until August. So I got a couple months. I'll price them a little bit higher, and that's okay. But it's a pull-on style with elastic waist. We all love fashion that makes it easier for us to look cute. So if I don't have to button anything, this is a very stunning, like gorgeous, that like very classic brown color. That's another $39 list. Oh yeah. So this, I believe the hoodies were $3 or $4. This is another Ralph Lauren Polo Sport. Made in made in USA. Yeah, made in USA. Size large. This I would have loved if the emblem was a little bit more prominent, but since it's Ralph Lauren, vintage Y2K, and still has the logo hit there, it's still a pickup for me at $3 or $4. Again, $39. I mean, I'm basically turning most of these items $3, $4, or $5, and every single one is going to be a $39 list. Ooh, I'm going to save that. I'm going to finish up with some of these hoodies. I was kind of mixed on this. So this was $3, made in Hong Kong. This is vintage Union Bay. And this is like a vest. This is like something I feel like males probably wore like to the gym or to work out or down to the beach or something, wearing their rollerblades. It's vintage Y2K or maybe older. Union Bay muscle shirt, hooded muscle shirt. That was only $2. That might be a $29, could still be a $39. Now here's I was so excited. I'm absolutely excited about all of these items, but this is a brand I do pretty well with. It might be hard to see the tag. This is a vintage hot cotton made in the USA. This kind of brings me back to that church sale where I found a lot of made in the USA, and I've sold a ton of it already, and it's been like a month. Hot cotton. It's kind of, because it's like it's like white on white, so it's hard to see. Hot cotton. Can I get it? Hopefully you guys can see it, or on the next one. Made in the USA. This lovely butter yellow color, buttons up the front with the pockets. It's slouchy. It's oversized. This is a small. Slouchy, oversized. It's lagging look for sure. This is just a brand in general you want to keep an eye out for. Hot cotton, and I got several of them. Again, this tag is like, trying to get it so that you guys can see it, but hot cotton, made in the USA. Again, the same things here. Slouchy, oversized, lagging look, beachy, earthy, 100% cotton, slouchy with the pockets. Excellent pickups. Each one of those is going to be $39. Another DKNY item here. Size medium, lamb's wool and cotton. Made in Hong Kong with a great vintage hit on the front there. And lamb's wool. So like I said, each one of these I'm paying $3-4, $39. I can't. You guys, if I could just find rummage sales like this all the time, I'd be a gajillionaire, which I clearly am not. However, in Wisconsin, we only get like 2-3 months to do these garage sales. And when you find a good one, you can make some good money and save the items from the landfill. And that also, honestly, it really brings me a lot of joy. So Ralph Lauren, here's another polo sport, size medium, made in the USA. This one, it's a button down and it doesn't have like the big hit on the side there. So this one might not be as good as the one with the logo with the American flag on the side. It's super soft. You're gonna have to add some keywords, right? Streetwear, vintage Y2K, retro, but also with this style of it being solid black. It's a classic, it's a closet staple. It is kind of minimalist because there's not a whole lot going on there, and that's what minimalist is. Now, she did have, there was a lot of skirts there, and I had a hard time deciding what to pick up. This is Y2K's Vintage Deadstock. Adrian Vittadini. This was sold at Chapman's. Was that an old department store? Look at this tag. Chapman's. It says $70 on this thing. And it's got to be at least 30 years old, in my opinion. Possibly 40 years old. Still new with tags. And it was $70 back then. It is 75% lamb's wool, 15% Angora rabbit, made in Hong Kong, dry clean only. This is nautical, it's beachy, it's classic, it's preppy, all the different keywords here. This is probably like a knee length, maybe a little bit longer style, easy pull-on stretch skirt. Y2K's Deadstock, that's another $39. Where I will start it at. Ooh, this is another hot cotton, I think. Let's see. That was another thing. Ton of hot cotton. Ugh. Could have bought a million things. Hot cotton, large, made in the USA. This is absolutely something you would like wear down to the beach. It's hooded, which is great, right? Especially if you're coming out of the beach or a pool and you want to put your hood up out of the sun. The buttons are there. They're just not all buttoned. Pockets, slouchy, oversized, beachy, nautical, resort wear, cruise, travel. How many things do you need? But the brand itself, Hot Cotton, is something to keep an eye out for. Along with all those style and, reasons to pick it up. 100% cotton. This is vintage, made in the USA. It's definitely something you could wear on travel, on vacation, on a cruise. Stack those reasons. That's a fantastic pickup. Like, it is extremely rare for me to feel. You guys know, if you've been on my channel, you've watched a couple of my videos. And a lot of times I have very solid bread and butter where I take $2 items and I flip them to 20. And I'm okay with that every single time. That's the basis of my business. And I do pretty well with that core part of my business. But when I can find an opportunity to pick up these types of items, vintage, Y2K, made in USA, some of these are new with tags, and I'm taking $3, $4, $5 and I'm hopefully selling them for $30 to $40 or $50. That's the ticket, my friends. At least for me. It doesn't have to be your thing. I just love this, like this. I don't know, maybe my mom had something like this. This is vintage Carol Little Sport. Made in the USA. And again, this is not a brand I would pick up unless it was vintage. Made in the USA. It's like kind of patriotic. It just looks like something someone would wear in the 90s or early 2000s with their high-waisted mom shorts, right? To like the July 4th parade. Another This is 56% silk, nylon, and then 13% Angora rabbit hair. The brand means virtually nothing. Words. These brands, these vintage brands, the brand is words. But what I picked it up for is the material content, it being vintage. It's so soft. Lovely pink color. Some keywords I will add in for this are like business casual, executive, you know, something that like a secretary, a teacher. You know, this is long enough where you can wear career wear, office wear, all those things. Now this, I found at the very end, I was clocking down on, I was like, I got 3 minutes. Like, oh, and there was a box of lingerie and sleepwear 90's, and they were only asking $2 a piece. I could have or should have bought the whole box. They're really lovely, pretty, they're feminine, they're sexy, and some of them give me like Titanic vibes, like just all the things. I think I picked up maybe 4 or 5 pieces. Let's take a look. This is vintage Deadstock, new with tags. I dropped an item there. A couple of these are sets, but Tosca lingerie, California. So this is vintage, new with tags, Deadstock. Look at this. Oh my gosh. What's this little tag say? Made in California. So not even made in USA, which obviously California is USA, but it says made in California. 100% nylon. Look at this. This, I don't know why it gives me Titanic vibes. And I don't want it to run off the floor. Look at this. Just stunning. A very light, soft pink with this elegant, lacy details. And it is like full length. Here's the test. Screen to screen, full length, nighty over robe, new with tags. I don't know. This could potentially be even 80s or 70s. I did run some comps and some people were claiming they were like from the 80s. I paid $2. I'm going to ask $49 for that all day. You guys tell me, do you love it? Are you obsessed as much as I am, or am I just crazy? Because these pieces really, like, all I can picture, like referencing obviously even like the Titanic and stuff, is back in those days, like when I go to bed, my poor husband, I'm like in some gigantic ugly pajama moo who knows what. Like, these women really took care of themselves. They, you know, I could picture someone at a vanity brushing her hair. Like, these are just stunning pieces. This lightweight, it's soft, it's airy, it's coquette, feminine, all the different, it could be Victorian. Again, this might be the underpiece to this because it says made in California as well. This is probably the under 90. So I'm probably going to sell these together. This as the under 90 and then this as the over 90. I'm not even going to lie. Sometimes this is not great advice as a reseller, but when I find things that I'm like completely obsessed with, I might maybe overprice it because I just love it and I want the best customer to really appreciate it. Don't listen to me. Look, this says Klein. That last piece I showed you says $70 probably 40, 50 years ago. This is the under 90. I think I'm going to sell them together, and I think I'm going to list it at $99. It is an absolutely stunning made in California, USA, 90 overrobe. Just, I mean, someone should buy this to put together an old movie. Can I put that in my title and stuff? Can I put like Hollywood in it? Like, I just, oh guys, Call me crazy. Call me crazy. This is another stunning piece. Let's see what this one says. $2 a piece I got these for. Again, this Tusca, made in California, size small. Another over robe. Look at this detail. Look at that. Made in California. Long, you know, someone would have her like under dress, her under nightie underneath this, and this would be like going to get my tea before bed. These are stunning. Each one of these pieces I am not letting go for less than $30, $40, $50. They are stunning. They are rare. They're hard to find. They're in great condition. Made in California. I still have a couple more. And a couple of these probably are going to be made in USA. Combined pieces. So I'll find the pieces that go together. She must have really liked this gorgeous light, like periwinkle pink. Here's another one with this lovely lace. It's dainty. It's feminine. Oh my gosh. Just super nice pieces. I feel completely blessed to have found them. It's all the same brand, this Tosca. Look at this cute little flower. All of these. I'm telling you, I am not letting them go. I will keep them forever. Not a good strategy, but I just love these pieces. I think they're fantastic. Look, a whole nother. Oh, this was the bottom part to that other. So I have a whole nightie set. This very soft, smooth satin nylon. So I think I have maybe 3 or 4 sets here, or about 8 pieces total, which cost me about $16 because they were about $2 a piece. There's no way I'm letting some of these pieces go for less than what I already said. I'm like obsessed. I wish I could find a rummage sale like this all the time. This last piece here, Aristocraft, made in USA, size small. And it actually has a union made tag. When you're into the union made tags, says Aristocrat, but the union made is on this side. This is the union made right here. You're talking about 80s, 70s, when you get that tag. Union Workers International. That's when you know, I guess the 70s, you're almost, yeah. You're looking at almost 50 years old. Look at this, another really nice slip dress, nightie, pajama, sexy, vintage. That it's union made. This is another $30, $40 piece. Look at the details. You know, items were made different way back then. I just loved looking through, okay, so I said that I had only a specific amount of time before I had to go to my other side hustle, and people would come in and out, and I was literally listening to them. They're like, oh, it's just a bunch of clothes. Which I get. Some people, they're thrifters, but they're not clothes thrifters. I do completely get that. But I'm like, if you knew the history here of all these items, the amount of work and effort to produce such high quality and beautiful items back 30, 40, 50, 60 years ago, union made could be 60s, 70s. There's so much quality here. A lot of this was lamb's wool, Angora rabbit. It's just, I just can't. One of my best garage sales ever to hit. I could have bought a lot more, but I'm super thankful for what I've gotten. I'm honestly thankful that this little box of linens that was stuck in the corner isn't gonna get thrown to the curb to be thrown out somewhere, because these are stunning pieces. So pretty. I'm obsessed. I do wish I could go back, but that's okay. I had a certain amount of time. I'm thankful that I didn't hit 10 other garage sales that maybe weren't the types of items that I like to find, because I feel blessed that I went, this was my third place. I was just zooming around. Like, this is one of those community sales where like everything, it's like in rows. And so I just like, and I was like, oh, there's another one. And then I stopped at this one. It was not even like really on my list. I just was zooming around in this little community until I could find different things. So I feel very lucky. I didn't have to find this garage sale. I could have found a million others and maybe found some good things too, but I was sweating bullets. She also had leather jackets, but those were like $15, $20. And I just didn't have the time or honestly the brain thoughts to go through some of those quality items. Basically every item that I found I could have had 4 or 5 more in different colors. But I'm very thankful. I really am. This was super fun, awesome, beautiful items, and hopefully, I'm saving them from the depths of a garbage can, because literally that's how it goes. Sometimes all these things just end up at the road. So, you guys let me know, what is your favorite item? What did you love? Did you love some of the Ralph Lauren sport items? Did you love these intimate, stunning, vintage slips and nightgowns? Did you love the Angora rabbit hair stuff? So many beautiful, the jean jackets at the front with the fall fur trim, the corduroy pants, just so many really nice items. Awesome. You guys let me know. This was a fantastic, $140. And if you think, if I'm taking $3 to $30 every time, 140 is going to turn into what? Somebody do the math for me. It's great all around, and I am really thankful. I felt like I really connected with the mom and her daughter there. They were very nice people. They were very thankful that we were taking things off of her hands, essentially. And a lot of times in the garage sale environment, they are happy. They're like, I just want some of this gone, and I'm okay with you only paying $2 or $3 because it clears out the items and it's going to somewhere else where hopefully someone else will use it. So it's a win-win-win all around. I'm extremely grateful. I'm going to stop talking. Thank you all for being here. I hope you enjoyed this one. Like, I'm not always going to have these awesome vintage pieces. So I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I loved reliving it. And now I'm going to go list it. Everyone have a good day. Bye.